You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Project Runway After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Project Runway After Show.
Hi, you guys. Bing is for doing, and tonight at AFTERBUZZ TV, we're doing another Project Runway recap. Tonight is Season 10, Episode 7, Oh My Lord and Taylor is the title of the episode, so it's going to be a good one. I'm Alina, and these are my lovely co-hosts. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Reyna.
Go ahead. I am Lauren Leonelli. And I am Lauren also, and you guys can call me Lauren.
And tonight's really special because we have another Project Runway alumni, our lovely guest, model and blogger, Amanda Fields. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Welcome.
Yes, Amanda was a model on Season 3, and then after that, she was reoccurring for a while, right?
I modeled on Season 3, and I was lucky enough to be in the finale collection for Uli. And if you watch the show tonight, of course, you see the collection of dresses from past Project Runway contestants, and she had the beautiful dress with the zipper right down the back.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to come back and do the finale episode for Season 4 with Rami, Season 5 with Kato, and Season 6 with Carol Hannah.
Wow. How exciting. I remember some of those names.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we did have an amazing night tonight. It was the mass production challenge. Well, really, it's the Lord and Taylor challenge because they all went to Fifth Avenue. And from there, Tim and... I'm sorry, what was the president of Lord and Taylor's name?
Bonnie Brooks.
Bonnie Brooks. Yes, they explained that the designers have a day and 30 minutes to sketch while they're there to create a cocktail dress or a gown we see that can be sold at the flagship store at Lord and Taylor and online.
No mood and no budget.
Right.
This time.
No mood. The fabric was from JS Collection because I guess they're producing the dress. And they said it has to be for the Lord and Taylor customer. She has to have good taste, stylish, sophisticated, fashionable. And it had to be a certain price range, $200 to $300.
Yes.
All right, what do you ladies think of this challenge? I personally like it because I could possibly buy that dress.
Yeah.
I liked it because it made it relatable. All these other dresses that they're making, you know, who's going to wear them? It was very much like the Marie Claire challenge because, you know, it was kind of bringing it to who is the customer, and we all felt like we could kind of relate to it.
Lo?
I liked it for the same reason you did, Alina. I was kind of hoping to see some really amazing pieces and thinking that I could possibly buy them. So that kind of excited me.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. I think that it's very interesting to watch them design clothes out of candy. While that's all fine and dandy and amazing to see the result, this is much more, you know, for the viewer at home, it's much more relatable.
And Amanda, how about you?
Well, I think it's almost more challenging to restrain the designers.
Right.
When you set them free in mood and just say, design something to your aesthetic, you end up with something that could be in Lord and Taylor and something that could be in avant-garde shows in Paris. So to have everyone design something for Lord and Taylor, a little black dress, it becomes, well, what are the little differences in everything?
Exactly. And they struggled with that. That's a good
Yeah.
point. A lot of the designers struggled with having to like hone it into that. Like, I don't make Elena, I don't make dresses like this. I make more, her dresses are more like avant-garde-ish, or her clothes are. So that's a good point.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that tonight. Once we got into the workroom, it's people falling apart like it's the finale or the hardest challenge ever. But like Amanda pointed out, I guess restraining them is harder than anything. And then they also displayed the 9 seasons, you mentioned it, from the past that had won. We saw Uli's dress you mentioned and a few others that I personally liked. And they were supposed to get inspiration from these dresses. So as they were sketching, did anybody's sketch stand out to any of you?
I thought Christopher's sketch stood out to me right when we saw it. I was like, ooh, that's really pretty. But you could tell that he was about to do what he has been doing time and time again with that little fringe detail. It looked gorgeous when he was sketching it, but I was kind of curious. He knew he was taking a risk and doing the same thing over again. So that kind of stood out to me.
The sketch that, I don't know. I mean, I think that Dimitri's sketch stood out to me too. Christopher's I loved. Dimitri stood out to me, but now looking back on it, it's interesting to see Alicia's sketch because I liked the Chanel drop waist inspiration that she talked about. However, I don't think that it was executed very well, but that was the difference between the sketch and the actual garment.
As we see in a lot of challenges,
different than what I thought.
The thing that I liked about Christopher's, though, and same thing with Fen, they knew that their clothes were going to be in Lauren Taylor, so they wanted their signature piece to be that. And so that's why I did appreciate it. Even though he had done it before, it was nice to know, if this was going in there, you would want something that is very you. And I think that for Christopher, that's exactly what it was.
And it's always worked for him, too. Every time he's done that technique, it's worked. Everyone's complimented it. Everyone's loved it. So, but then you're right. There was Ven who did that little rosette. You saw it in the sketch, and I think everybody was just like, oh, my God, here we go again. Seriously.
But, but he made it. He was in the top, and he made it through. And I think that, they do what works for them. But if you also think about it in general, like, Diane von Furstenberg is a very, very specific design aesthetic. Her cuts are always very specific, and she's always got a lot of pattern. And it's kind of like you see her garment among things, and you go, oh, that's Diane von Furstenberg. And that would be at Lord & Taylor, and everyone loves that. So sometimes when you have a strength, you got to just go for it.
That's a perfect point. And she's not the only one. There's tons of designers.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, but she's...
But the rosette is so specific to me.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I'm kind of bored with it.
Yeah.
I completely agree because if you look back to Rami when he did the draping, he always did draping, but it was always different. Yeah. This with the rosette, it's like, come on, Ben.
Even with the draping, though, they made comments like, this is too similar to the last dress. We need to get over
the draping with
Rami.
Rami, yeah.
A former contestant on. I don't remember his season, but he was awesome designer. So let's move on to the workroom where all the drama began. We had, again, the guys versus the girls in a sense because the chiffonies were back. The silk chiffonies. And they were making the more feminine pieces as the girls kept commenting. And the girls were kind of torn and had a really, really hard time. How many girls did we see break down? What did you think, Amanda?
I think we saw a little bit of a breakdown in everyone, but especially Sanji, Melissa, Elena, especially. And I was watching it and I thought, oh, well, they're editing it to make it look like it's so difficult for Elena. She's probably going to win. So that's what I thought.
And she ended up doing well.
She was in the top. She didn't win, but I thought.
Yeah. They were trying to make it feel like she was just going to fall apart and crumble and this was going to be her last day. And yeah.
It was the first time that crying on the runway was a good thing.
True.
But Elena did break down a couple times, remember? She was venting to Gunnar, which is so random.
And now Gunnar, we commented on this too, watching it. Yeah, and now Gunnar's like all of a sudden trying to help everyone. Like he's filling that Christopher role where he's like, it's okay. Whereas before, in the beginning of the season, I felt like he was definitely like very snippy. And if you weren't doing,
Oh, yeah. And even Elena is nicer now. Did you guys notice how she helped
Sanji, why don't we wait till
girl?
Next episode?
I definitely think they had, like, those two had a breakthrough when they were designing for their customer. That's when we actually saw the softer side of them. And so now they're starting to be nicer, I feel
that could be their strength.
I've noticed, though, that all the designers have actually been a lot more friendly with each other. About Gunnar, he's being a lot nicer, but he's also being a lot nicer with Christopher. Like, we haven't seen that drama between the two of them like we did in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it does seem like everybody's becoming a lot more friendly with each other and helping each other.
I guess they've spent a lot more time together. And do you feel like once the season dwindles down, people get closer? Or
I feel like people just start to bond more because they're starting to feel like, oh my gosh, this is real. We're making it. We're pretty much halfway through the season and we're still here. So I think there's a camaraderie involved. And also, maybe the fact that they've been living together for so long in those the Atlas apartments, you know.
Have you been in them? Are they like tiny?
I have not.
They look tiny. I'm sure they're more tiny on TV, right?
You'd think they would almost have more problems being with each other 24/7. Yeah. But I mean, I guess we'll see next
probably,
week.
yeah, it probably
we'll
does
see.
create a bond and a camaraderie, especially since they're going through such a stressful situation.
And I know that they take away their internet, TV, their cell phones. They don't really have other stimuli coming in. So there's, you know, they have their other contestants to bond with, and that's
it.
Yeah.
So, and also speaking, I don't want to get off the subject too much, men versus women. Your little Ven made a nice little comment. Men are stronger designers, while women are more practical. Do you think Diane von Furstenberg, I can't say her name,
Diane
von Furstenberg is going to give him a call for a job? Or
No.
Donna Karen?
No.
Or
I don't think very many people are going to call or talk to Ben at all after the last two episodes. I was disappointed, obviously, in his attitude, and I'm not very excited about his dress this week either, but whatever. It still doesn't take away his talent.
I was thinking maybe John Galliano.
Oh, well, there we go. John Galliano. That could work.
So, yeah. Besides that, what'd you guys think of Tim's comments? He came in there, and I thought he really liked Fabio's dress. And who else's dress did he really like?
Gunner's. Remember, he thought it was so sophisticated looking, and it started out looking that way, and then it turned out not so much.
Yeah, he walked up thinking it was beautiful, and apparently other people
He liked
didn't
the
feel that way.
lace on the top.
Yeah.
But there wasn't as much sequence on it when he was
When
in there,
Tim
in
saw
his
it, yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
Anybody's dress that stood out to you, Amanda, in the workroom?
Dimitri. I mean, that was the only fabric that was gray, sparkly. Dimitri always stands out because he really, in my opinion, understands fit the best. Every time he has his model come in, or even when there's a special guest model, you know, to dress the everyday woman, his fit is so impeccable. So I would go to him because I feel like once you have the fit down, it's going to look good no matter what.
That's true. That's like more than half the battle.
He kind of made a comment about that, how he makes more simple dresses, but it's more difficult because you can't hide it, you know, behind the fluff and the ruffles and this and that. And it's true. Yeah. His dresses are really simple, so when he comes out or the dresses come out, you're like, wow.
But to do something simple with perfection is very difficult, I think.
I feel like that's what Michael Kors does too.
Exactly.
So
Calvin Klein, all those designers, they just keep it simple and they do it perfectly. Right. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So anything else you guys want to add about the workroom besides all the tiers?
Tim did comment on the fabric that Melissa was using, and she was a little wary about it as well. And he kind of encouraged her to, well, he didn't say change it, but he said, you can't bring this dress out on the runway if you are not behind at least the fabric. And that's what inspired her to switch the fabric.
Yeah.
I mean,
did she ever end up switching?
I don't think she switched it.
I don't think
I think she thought that she was going to switch it and she kind of made the decision to, but I don't think she had any options. And I think that's where her and Tim Gunn were kind of like, you should switch it, think about switching it. Then when she realized what the options were, he thought, well, maybe that's not the best idea.
Because I was going to say, I don't feel like it looked that, I didn't notice that big of a difference. I didn't,
I think she did the same thing.
I don't think she ever switched the fabric.
I liked the fabric.
I did too.
So did I from the beginning.
And then it ended up looking great. So
that's one thing that I thought would have been a difficult part of this challenge was that they had to do their sketches, you know, not knowing what fabric they were actually going to be given. I think when they, in all the previous challenges, they're able to sketch and they know they can go to mood and they have this unlimited amount of fabrics to choose from. They can already have an idea of what they want to use. And I think in Melissa's case, this was what happened was she, you know, sketched and then didn't really have a lot of options. And I think the same thing happened to Alina. When she first started designing, she's like, this fabric isn't going to do what I sketched. So I thought that was one of the challenges that maybe made it more difficult for everybody else.
That is a great point. And unfortunately, I didn't even see the JS collection.
No,
was
they never showed it.
Selection or
they didn't. The weird thing was nobody chose any color. They had blues and purples, and everybody stuck with black or gray.
I think a lot of it was silk, though. Or
the colors they said were silk. Yeah.
So they probably wanted to avoid. I don't know.
Yeah, that's hard fabric to work with.
So. But anyways, who's the fan favorite right now?
Oh, golly. Oh gosh.
We check every week, Amanda.
Frightened to see because it is always somebody that you would not expect.
And
It's been Elena for the past.
probably
going
going
to
to be like
I was
Alicia.
gonna
Who
say-
is your
You
fan
guys.
favorite, Amanda?
Well, I love Melissa and Sanji. I think they're.
I just peeked. I don't get this.
I know. It is Elena. Still, she has been holding the lead ever since, you guys. I swear this app is working. I'm refreshing it. I know
What
that it
is
is.
the
I'm even
percentage?
cross-checking the website. I am. Because I'm like, really? This can't be
Well,
right.
I can see why she would be the fan favorite this week because they made the sob story out of her problems and she cried on the runway and even the judges were like, oh, it's so sweet. I just personally don't think she's very nice.
No. Yeah. So it has 37% of the votes. And then I believe still by the fan favorite, Melissa is coming in second, but now she's at 26. So I think they fluctuated a little bit since last week. So there you have it. That's your fan favorite that I checked on iTunes. And while you guys are there, please remember to download us and, of course, to pass us on to your friends. We know that you fashion lovers had a lot of other fashion lover friends that may want to join in our conversation. So please refer us to them.
And rate and comment, please.
Yeah. You guys have been leaving some really good comments. I've enjoyed reading them. So please keep doing that and let us know what you think. Do you think Elena should be the fan favorite? I want to know.
That's a good question.
Can you please tell me?
I'm kind of wondering what Ben's at. Is he at like a negative?
You know, it's funny because a lot of them are
Negative.
It's like there's the top ones, and then a lot of them are just kind of down at the bottom with like 2%. And that's kind of
And
what.
that's me voting for
Give me
Kuan.
a minute, and I will tell you guys that.
I still
But you
tweet
guys
him.
can keep going.
Kuan tweeted today that this
I
challenge
saw
was
that.
his kind of a challenge. And he's like, too bad I'm out.
Too bad you left.
This is a Kuan challenge, mass
That's
producing.
what he said. That's what he,
That does
unless
not
he was
seem-
talking about something else. But that is what Kuan, call in if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Call
No,
us.
I believe you. I'm just shocked because
I might be wrong.
Okay. Do you guys want to hear more about these fan favorites?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Elena, 37%, Melissa, 26%, then Christopher with 10%, Sanji with 9%, Alicia following that with 5%, then with 3%, Dimitri with 2%.
Then beat Dimitri? After all that?
Yeah. Alicia beat Ven and Dimitri. That's even more shocking, I think.
what is shocking is
Yeah.
that Elena and Melissa are so up there, and then it drops to like 9% from 37%.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a very big
Exactly.
number. Yeah.
I wonder if perhaps the fan favorite is relatable to the amount of TV time they're getting.
Could be.
Oh, well, Elena was kind of the star of the show this week, so she's going to get a lot of votes.
She's
I'm
always
surprised.
consistent, though. She has been up there.
She's been up there for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
She is not like sliding under the radar like some of the other designers. She's always in the spotlight, boo-hooing about something glue on her leg or whatever.
She's very dramatic.
Yeah, I'm surprised though that the attention that she gets is making
Positive.
her the favorite because it's not always positive. Sometimes I don't like her.
Something's going on.
Some people like drama. That's why they're watching the show, maybe.
They want to keep her in. I don't know.
All right. Speaking of drama, let's move on to the runway. All right. Our guest judge again is Bonnie Brooks. She's the president of Lord & Taylor, and she's the one who explained the challenge with Tim, if you guys do not remember. And just to get an idea, she seems like she's very conservative and proper, and she's still fashionable, of course. She's the president of
she
Lord &
better be.
Taylor.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear what she has to say.
And I feel like we should all say Lord and Taylor with a British accent.
Lord
and Taylor.
Lord and Taylor. Like you can't just, it just feels right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. And we all kind of gasped when Heidi came out. I just have to make this comment. She was wearing this sweetheart neckline, pink
Yeah.
sequence dress,
Big
right?
sequin, tight, knee length.
Hot pink.
She
Hot
looked
pink,
like,
like fuchsia.
Jessica Rabbit to me. I mean, that Jessica Rabbit dress is long with the slit, but imagine it short without the slit, and
was, like,
she looked
gorgeous.
like Jessica Rabbit.
She-
She was like, we all went,
Yeah.
oh, she looks
We
so
all
pretty.
want that.
Not only that, but her hair and makeup were flawless.
Totally.
I love the
Always.
bronzing of her cheeks. It was just beautiful.
She just got off the jet from San Tropez and walked
did.
onto the stage.
Well, if you all saw her Twitter pic in the bikini
Yeah.
that
Yes,
she put
I saw
out there,
that.
maybe she was sunning wherever she was at. I don't know where she was, but that's probably where she got that tan. She looked good. Go Heidi.
Yes. And I have to comment, Nina looked amazing
Of
as well. But
course.
she always
Always
does.
looks
Her dress,
amazing.
oof, We could do a whole other show on
And her
Nina's
hair
wardrobe.
always looks good too.
Yeah.
And
I
she's
was gonna say.
ageless.
Totally.
Like, she looks like she's, I don't know,
Does she
32?
Does she look the same as when you were on the show? Like, I feel like she has gorgeous skin. Like, she doesn't look any older.
I feel like she just keeps looking better.
Yeah. She must have been beautiful in person,
Plus-
too.
Stunning.
Plus her wardrobe, I'd wear it. She can wear it. Someone older can even wear it.
She's very classy.
And doesn't she look like she comes from The Office, kind of, but like she just looks that good at The Office?
Yeah.
The
That's what
best
she
office.
looks like to me. Like she really works really hard at Marie Claire and comes in and this is what I wear all day.
She makes it work.
Just another professional.
Oh, Nina,
Love
we
her.
love you. Please come in,
Serious.
call us, tweet us, whatever. Anyways, Runway. The first thing we see is Fabio's look. Yeah.
Sorry, I fell asleep on my microphone.
Little black dress.
What? I am sorry. Can I just say I'm sorry? I'm totally interrupting. I do not like that asymmetrical hemline. I just never have. I never will. Maybe it's just me being biased, but I don't like it. And I thought the dress was really boring.
It looks like fashion school. It
Totally.
doesn't,
Like I'm gonna try and make this look different.
yeah, like someone that just graduated from fashion school instead of someone that's been designing for years.
Simple black dress. What'd you think, Laura?
I thought it didn't have a lot of shape to me. And that's why when I saw it, I was like, I would not buy that because it doesn't look like it would really be flattering on every figure. And it was very boring. No, I didn't like it.
I could see a lady shopping at Lord and Taylor wearing it.
That's a good
Even
point.
with the beads. I mean, I wouldn't
Well,
wear
because
it.
she liked it, and she really liked the back of it. The back was nicer than the front.
Yeah,
the
that's
front
Or
was
the,
very boring.
the beads, right? So that's what we should kind of explain. So it was fairly a straight dress, not
like
a
a
lot of
shift.
shape with that,
That's not a good
asymmetrical
sign.
hem slanted thing. With the back had kind of those halter straps.
It's like a
which it
reverse
was-
and a
racer back.
zipper.
Okay, there you go. And the visible zipper, which I liked that. And I liked when he was doing that in the workroom. I think we all were kind of like, ooh, this is looking good. Was that necklace? That wasn't part of the dress. He just accessorized that. And think about if you took that necklace off, though.
Snooze.
I mean, I didn't like the necklace, but that's what I saw when it came down. So
Amanda?
I think a way he could have improved it is if you make it more fitted, it becomes more sexy.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do asymmetrical, like really do it, make it stand out more. That was just kind of okay, it's asymmetrical hem.
A weak asymmetrical hem. You want it more
however,
strong.
isn't that kind of what Melissa did? And she kind of they were kind of
Her dress
putting her
was
down for it.
much more strong though. But then again, it's a good point. That's the Lord and Taylor buyer maybe, and maybe we aren't necessarily. I mean, I could buy some stuff at Lord and Taylor, but maybe it's a little
Right.
more conservative. So maybe that's
Yeah.
why they kind of liked it. But yeah, I think it was boring.
It was boring, and it was chiffon.
Yeah.
So chiffon-y. Anyways, I just have to keep saying that. Christopher, he walks out with a beautiful gown. He does his signature top, and it's like a blushy nude, and then it looks like two pieces, but it's a gown. So it's a black long skirt. What do you think, Virginia?
I really liked it. I thought it could go on so many different people. I could see Gwen Stefani wearing it. We said we could see Tilda Swinton wearing it. It's a very nice piece that I think a lot of people could wear.
Do you think it could go for $200-300 though?
It did look expensive. It definitely
Yeah,
looked
with all the
expensive.
with the detailing that he did, I think it could. Yeah.
You think that you could get it for that cheap?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, I don't know about the price, but I think the thing that really made it stand out was the fact that he made a little sleeve.
Yeah.
Because it's still youthful, but if an older woman wanted to wear it and she wanted to like not show off her shoulder so much, it's kind of more conservative there on the arm.
Good for the Lord
A
and Taylor buyer.
sleeve
Yeah.
will make or break a
I
dress.
agree. And
Or
it was-
anything.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it. And I love Christopher. I know I always talk about Van, but I'm kind of jumping on Christopher's boat. But
Breaking news.
Right,
but
I know.
I loved also that it was a gown, but it looked separate, and I loved that high
waist.
structured waist. To me, I gravitate towards that. Like I don't gravitate towards it to an asymmetrical hem. Yes, like Amanda's lovely dress here, who was. Sorry for interrupting my own self. Who designed that dress that you're wearing, darling?
Nick Barrios was actually on season 2 of Project Runway, and in the Lord and Taylor collection, he designed the beautiful cobalt blue. color cocktail dress. And so, of course, I was coming on the show tonight, and I wanted to wear his dress. I always love his dresses.
It's gorgeous on you, but that waistline totally reminds me of what I liked about Christopher's dress.
It's
And I
really
should-
flattering.
I should say the line is called Nico Lucky.
Oh, Nick's line.
Yes.
That
Yes.
means like little Nicky, doesn't it, in Greek?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did a little
Look
research.
At that.
Really pretty dress, stunning color, and you, for those of you who can't see it, the back is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like got the perfect fit, so go check out the designer.
Yeah.
Lo, let's hear what you think about Christopher's dress.
I loved it too. I loved the sleeve. I thought he did it. I think he just did it all right. You're right. The high-waisted skirt, the sleeve, the fit of it, even the color selection, how he did the hard and soft play on that. I loved it all. And I thought it looked really good on his model. And I loved the way they did her hair and her makeup. I thought she was styled so perfectly. She sold that dress, I thought.
Back of the dress too was
yeah.
It was like a cutout hole, so it exposed that like upper part of her back and shoulders, which was pretty too, I thought.
Very.
And he really did think it out, though, because when he was looking at all the dresses, he realized if he did a long dress, nobody else would think to do a long dress. So he kind of attacked it in a really good way, because really nobody else was going that way.
Yeah,
there was a big business side to this challenge too. They had to think about what would fit in, who obviously, like always, who their buyer was, who they were selling it to, and then they had to also consider if they could make it in the price range that is a Lord & Taylor price range.
Yeah.
So there was a lot besides just the art of it here
Yeah,
too.
I think that dress could fit in that price range because I feel like the expense of it is just the detail of the top, but then the bottom is really simple. So
yeah, that's true.
I
They
think
would
it
just,
worked.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Melissa. When her dress walked out, I thought it was stunning. She had that really pretty bronze fabric. It was really fitted, had an unusual neckline. It was a strapless dress, however, it was high neck. And I personally thought it was really pretty and it stood out. I don't know if a Lord & Taylor customer would buy it because it's a little too high fashion, maybe a little too fitted for the average woman. What'd you think, Virginia?
You know, my initial concern was, like, if I were to wear it, I don't think it would stay up.
No.
I just don't know how that collar can hold everything up, even if it is, you know, like a brocade. That was my concern.
I agree. I think the dress is beautiful. As you said, Alina, I thought the fabric was really pretty. But we all did talk about that model is very thin and wispy, and she had a smaller chest. I feel like a woman with a larger chest, or even an average sized chest, it would push that top out, and then it would do something bad.
Or even hips, you know, if you have hips.
But the material was gorgeous.
Stomach.
And the model wore it well, but they did say that it would be the most difficult to sell. The judges.
Yeah.
I feel like Melissa, even though I love black, I love wearing black, and she's so good at that. But I think she really stands out when she does something with that fabric that was very metallic, or the fabric for the Marie Claire challenge that was blue. I mean, it really, especially on TV when you're watching it at home, it stands out more.
And those dresses were similar to the Marie Claire blue, and they had that dramatic neckline.
yeah.
Similar shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it came out, I loved it. I was like, that is my favorite. I love it. I would wear it. But then you're right. When we saw them critiquing it on the runway and the model standing very still, she had a little side boob action. And anyone with a bigger chest couldn't really do that.
I don't think
right? So maybe if it was constructed a little bit different, then it would have been easier to wear, I think, for the average person. But I loved that it was simple yet very dramatic.
Don't start saying average, regular person. Then,
Well, I'm okay. I'm average.
No, I'm kidding.
And I have a chest. And I can't wear that. So that's what I mean. Like, it would have to be constructed for me to wear. I think about myself and how I can fit in these
We
dresses.
all do.
Because if that's going to be sold at Lord & Taylor, I might want to buy it, but now I can't.
I don't know that any of us could.
Right.
Well, if it comes with a harness inside, I could.
That's what I'm saying. If it had some more construction on the side, then maybe it could be wearable.
But that would be more expensive.
And maybe you need Elena's dress because you need that harness.
I do need.
I know, right?
There we go. I'm calling Alina, my new best friend.
Yeah, but I loved it. It was still my favorite, I
was
think.
beautiful.
So it was, I loved it.
All right, let's move on to Gunner. He had this pretty, well, in my opinion, pretty black cocktail dress. It had lace on the top sleeves, and then the rest of it had this touches of sequins, I want to say.
were
It was
matte
a matte
sequin.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's why it didn't look as bright.
Yeah.
And short fitted. What'd you think?
I kind of agree with the judges. You've seen it before. You can kind of get it anywhere. So I just didn't think it was that special.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think everybody thought that, but like the judges said, they liked the dress. They thought he did it beautifully, and it was a cute, pretty dress. And I think a lot of people will buy it, and that's why you see it everywhere. So I like that the sequence was matte, though. I thought that was a little bit different. I didn't think it was bad, so it was okay.
I liked it. I didn't think that. I mean, in comparison to Fabio, I don't think that they should have been calling Gunner's dress boring, but it was not as boring as I thought.
Perhaps it would have been an improvement if he would have chosen a color to go underneath, or even a fabric with more interest with the lace. It could have been something more modern.
True.
Yes. Elena, she had this interesting dress. The top part had I don't want to call it a harness.
They called it a harness. The judges called it a harness.
It was like a halterish weird thing, and then it had the big skirt.
It was kind of like a bubble skirt,
almost like a cupcake dress, but not like a cupcake.
I thought it was good from far.
I definitely think it was a harness, though, because it reminds me of when I would walk my dog on a harness. If you just put that little thing on there, I mean,
and it like came right down the center.
Who said that would cut right in the middle of my boobs?
Yeah, it would.
It looks like one of those things when girls get boob jobs and they get like the uniboob. They have to wear that strap down the middle. That's exactly what it made me think of.
Uniboob.
As Tom and Lorenzo would say, they write a blog about the show. They would say that was a tit discrepancy.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my God. I think I just heard the best word ever.
Yeah, I thought the back, I actually kind of liked the back because it looked kind of like athletic and tomboyish. And I think that was one of the
edgy.
Kind of what the judges were commenting on was that there was an edge, but yet the same kind of like edge with feminine. Yeah, so there was a contrast there that they really liked.
I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was looked ill-fitting. I mean, I didn't think it was awful, and it's probably my favorite piece that Elena has ever done, and I never like her stuff, so that's not saying that much, but I just feel like it shouldn't have done as well as it did.
I feel like Elena's model made it stand out more. She has a fabulous model, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. I was looking at her model. She's beautiful.
That probably helps.
I didn't like the fabric of Elena's dress. Wasn't it kind of shiny?
Shiny black.
Yeah, that's what I think I didn't like. Maybe if it had been different, I would have liked it a little bit better, but that was just a little too cheesy for me.
All right, so then we see Alicia. In her sketches, we saw that she was going to do a drop waist Chanel-inspired dress, and it had a collar, but when we saw the product coming down the runway, it was kind of ill-fitting, boxy. I didn't love it personally. What do you think?
It just really wasn't flattering, and I couldn't see it being flattering on a lot of people.
No.
I think if Alicia was going to wear a dress, that would be the dress that Alicia would wear with the collar, and it just kind of falls, and it's like, if I have to wear a dress, this is what I'm going to do. I think that's what she designed. It was, in my opinion, I thought that was the worst one. That's one I didn't like at all.
I agree with you because I think she shouldn't have even gone the dress route. I know they said it needed to be for Lauren Taylor, but that's why I think she should have done a pantsuit or a jumpsuit or something else that was more her, because it was, she even said, like, I did my best with the dress. Like, I'm not girly.
Yeah, that's right. I think she has just missed the mark in every challenge. She's had every opportunity to do menswear, and she never does it.
Yeah, she just scoots on by.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it. I sound like I'm just being so mean to everybody, but I'm really not. I liked the sketch. And when she said it was Chanel inspired, I was very surprised by that because it doesn't seem like she would be inspired by Chanel. I don't know what designer wouldn't, but her aesthetic is so different. But I thought that it could have turned out really beautiful, but then I didn't like the finished product. It just didn't look that great.
I think the place where it really failed was the neckline and the collar. I think if she had done something softer on top, not such a severe collar, it could have saved it.
Yeah. And with Chanel, like when I see those dresses, I hate to say this, but they're usually chiffon, so it's a really feminine fabric. And then the skirts are like pleated, and it reminds me of
quilted,
The Great Gatsby, you know. And this was just like
what did
Midnight
Tim say?
in Paris.
Tim said it was like Joan of Arc. Wasn't that
no,
what
he said it was Amish,
Farmer.
and it looked like field hockey.
Oh no, that's Michael Kors. Michael Kors said that.
Michael Kors.
Yeah, that's right.
Tim said
that was a good
Joan of
comment,
Arc, and she took that as a compliment.
Yeah, she's like, I like that.
She's like, well, that's what the kind of dress I would wear.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
All right, so that's all the dresses, you guys.
Well,
no.
Sanji.
Sanji, Ben,
Sanji and Ben.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, you guys.
It's okay.
Alina's sleepy tonight. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Sanji, we saw that she had a lot of drama right before the runway. She was crying. She couldn't even get the dress on. Alina saved the day and helped her put it on. And she had a really fitted dress, and it had a peplum, and the peplum was leather, I believe.
Was it? Was
It looked like that in the. It looked like that in the workroom.
I don't know
when they came out as a finished product. I don't think it was. I don't know.
I thought it fit well. It was okay, but I see a lot of it, and I'm kind of getting over it.
It's definitely in trend right now, so we are seeing a lot of it. But this was filmed like a while ago, so I mean, it could have been new at the time. Maybe because it was filmed like 6 months ago, possibly.
I think it was filmed this summer. I think they filmed it May, June.
Okay.
Because they use the Parsons School of Design, and they want to use it when it's not during school.
Okay, that makes sense. So, I mean, that could have been what inspired her to just, throw that on at the end. But, I mean, it definitely made a difference because before she had that on, we were all kind of like snooze. And then she threw it on and we were like, oh, okay.
The peplum, when she put the peplum on, yeah.
Yeah. No, I really loved it. I think you're right. I mean, we definitely see it and it is on trend and maybe that's why I like it. But that's something, if I saw that and it was in my price range, I would definitely buy it. I just think it's so funny to have seen her break down so much and cry so hard. I think just being in the bottom last week threw her off this entire challenge. She was so paranoid about it and really was striving for perfection that she just broke down at the end. She was like, my hem's not done. And like, it was like all these little things that you wouldn't have even noticed. Like Tim's like, she looks good. What are you crying about? I just think she was really, shook up from it. But I liked her dress.
I liked it. I like that. Again, it's my personal taste. I like the peplum. I like covering that part of my body and like accentuating the waist right before it. I thought it was cute how it just kind of popped off the side like that. I thought it was cute.
And also, I think this dress is just younger. So we're all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dimitri, I loved his dress. Like Amanda mentioned, the fit was amazing. It was this really pretty cobalt silver, not cobalt, that's cobalt blue. I'm thinking like a gunmetal.
Yeah, it was.
And it's metallic. And of course he had that little, I feel like it's a Dimitri signature too, right? The structured, or it's, I don't want to call it a pleat. What do you call that? The overlapping
seams? He just has like very structured seams. Yeah. And I felt like that would look really good on any figure because if you're curvy, it would really kind of show that. And I thought it was really pretty.
I did too. And I thought the fabric looked like it could go for anybody, somebody really thin or someone with curves. It was very structured and would hold in. And it would, the seams were very flattering up and down like that to make you elongate the figure. I thought it was gorgeous and I loved the color.
Dimitri's model is another one of my favorite models this season. I think she always adds to his dress. I mean, his dresses are always amazing and they would make any model look great, but she just brings it to another level. She makes it look more expensive. She's very classy how she walks out. She has great posture, so she only helps him every time instead of hurts him.
Virginia, what did you think of the dress?
I definitely just really appreciated it because he just has a sense of knowing exactly what he's going to do every time. You never see him really freak out. He's always kind of like, this is what I'm going to do, and it's always sophisticated. And he's always, I was really surprised he wasn't in the top.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
And if I were going to go to any store, I would go to Dimitri's store out of any designer this season.
Yeah.
That's a great point. And you know what, Virginia? That's an amazing point to make too. He's really confident. Yeah. He doesn't second guess himself. He knows what he wants right away. Yeah, I don't know. I think we gotta watch out for Dimitri.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's been a good one though for a while. Yeah, I like him.
Then,
last but not least,
he made a black cocktail dress with his signature rosette right up here. I thought the cut was kind of weird because it stopped right here in the chest, and then the rest was just plain cocktail knee length.
Yeah, it was kind of older to me. I think that cut
impressed.
and that seam right under the bust was kind of old.
Yeah.
Yeah, the empire waist with the princess seam. It is, well, but however, it can be made young. I think he failed, though, with the neckline. It was black on black.
Yeah.
The reason why Christopher's empire waist did so well is because of the visual interest on top.
I think that makes total sense. Now that you say that, and I think, had that top part been a different color or the bottom, maybe it would have been a little bit more interesting and maybe even a little bit younger.
I didn't like the fabric either.
Yeah.
It didn't. I usually love his stuff. I couldn't really see the fit, and I think he's very good with fit and tailoring. And I couldn't. I mean, I think it takes skill to make that rosette, but yeah, maybe Christopher does the little the layering thing with the material that he uses, and Ven does this rosette, but it wasn't that exciting to me. I was disappointed.
Has already established himself as like a top guy to me, so I want to see a lot more from him.
Yeah.
Like he is so talented. He's got it.
But maybe he's not. Because think about it. If you do that rosette over and over and over again, you're going to be really great at it. What else can you do?
He can do other stuff.
I think he can do other stuff.
I'll believe it when I see it.
He doesn't always do it.
The pants he makes.
Okay, the pants.
My favorite look he
You're
did
right,
was the
he's
candy
talented.
challenge. I thought that really stood out.
Oh, yes, with the
multicolored
stained glass.
Yes.
There was
Still a rosette
in that.
Yes.
That's true. I forgot about the rosette in that dress.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
He basically is doing his entire collection on
But Christopher
this
does
thing.
it over and over again, too.
He does. You're right.
He's
I
only
mean,
done it
you know.
3 times.
Yeah.
But Chris doesn't say the things that Ven does,
I
so I'm not
know.
going to criticize him yet.
I agree.
But they gave him a warning in the end on the runway. Heidi, they said, take this as a note for next time. We've seen you do this already. Why they didn't say that to Ven, I
they
don't
said that to
know.
Christopher.
Yeah, they did.
because I think Ven was safe, so they let him just go off.
Oh,
Maybe they didn't
been
want to
safe.
help Ven that much.
maybe not.
No.
Good call.
All right, let's move on to our winner tonight. Drum roll, please. Thank you, ladies. Christopher. Yay!
Well deserved.
I think we were all pretty happy. It was young, fresh, pretty.
Yep.
I liked it.
I agree.
Yeah, I think most people would like it. I think most people would buy that out of all the other dresses, so that's probably why I won.
Most wearable, very Lord & Taylor, gorgeously done.
And, if you walked into any event with that dress, you'd feel confident in it. And anywhere you went, like you could go to any country, you could go to something a little bit more casual, maybe like a summer wedding or something like that.
Yeah.
But you could also wear it to a red carpet event.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of body types could get away with wearing it.
Yes.
It's wearable.
And it's kind of timeless too. I mean, the cut, it's not something that's so trendy that's going to go out of style. So it was all around great.
Love him.
Love him.
And now for the bad news. We see that Alicia was safe, and that leaves Gunner.
Yeah.
But he was safe too.
We all freaked out.
We did, and I think I was really shocked because I was like, again, Alicia is safe.
Right.
Why did they, I need to interject for a second. Why did they make Gunner feel like he was going? Because maybe he had like the lowest score. Why didn't they pick Alicia to stand there
I
by
think they did it for
herself?
us.
I think that's
do too.
They
ratings.
did it for shock.
Okay.
Shock value.
Because I was going to say, if they were doing that based on like maybe one of them having a little more edge, like over the other, it should have been Alicia that was standing out there and Gunner should have been sent, like, you're safe. But then when Heidi didn't say, I'm sorry, Gunner, right away, and she's like, Gunner? And then I was like, oh, she's going to say he's safe too. She didn't do
I
her
didn't know.
normal. She didn't do her normal.
I was shocked, but I kind of sensed that you had an idea because you were like, oh,
I did not catch that at all.
I did.
neither did I.
I'm glad he didn't
Well.
go, though. I didn't think he should have gone on that dress either.
No, I
neither.
agree. Yeah. And I mean, if someone was going to go, it would have had to have been Alicia, in my opinion. And I think that's what was so shocking when I think we were shocked just when she was safe.
Yes.
It was like, are you kidding me? But we would have been maybe just as shocked if they would have sent Gunner off first and then told Alicia she was safe. I would have been shocked then too. I'd be like, why?
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 Yeah.
I think it was a lot of producing on Project Runway's part,
Well,
and it worked because we were all shocked, and I think you guys were too.
Yeah.
All right, and now let's get to news and gossip. Lauren's got some juice for us.
TV News.
Enlighten us.
Okay, there is a lot of Ven backlash, as I'm sure you all figured. There is some, a lot of stuff buzzing around on the internet. There's Oregon Live TV Talk talking about how he displayed the most thoughtless and downright cruel behavior. Tim Gunn was quoted saying, "I can tell you the editing on the show is kind to everyone, and it was especially kind to him," meaning Ven, and he was especially atrocious. So that's what we think about Ven, bad boy. Also, Heidi. We're seeing a little more Heidi. She is on team Umizoomi. And for you, all of you who don't know what that is, it's an animated math show for kids on Nickelodeon. And Heidi says all her 4 kids are very big fans of the show. And she did a little promo for them about measuring heights. And she was on a red carpet, and one of her heels was longer than the other. And the team Umizoomi came in and measured and made her heels both 4 inches. So that's cute. You can see her on that show if you're a fan or you have kids that are fans. And then there's a couple contests that are in the works that have to do with Project Runway. One of them is you can win tickets to the finale with Nina Garcia, and you get to meet all of the judges. And Moda Operandi is the place that you can access all of the unedited collections from everyone on the show. And basically, they are holding a contest through Facebook, so you can go to their Facebook page and you can log in and enter into the challenge. And you have until, I think, the 31st. Tomorrow to enter. No. So enter soon, and you could possibly be winning a trip to New York to the finale. You get to meet everybody. And then there's one more contest, and it's the HP contest. And you know that they use all of the HP tablets on the show. And that is a very interesting contest. Basically, what you're going to do is they want you to design a laptop bag for one of their laptops. And they will pick 5 top designers, and they will all win the NV Ultra book. And then the number 1 winner, who designs the best bag, will get $10,000.
Wow!
So
I'm entering all of
that contest ends September 8th. And so enter that, and you can find that all on the HP website, and you can enter in on that. And
that would be so fabulous to win the one in New York, because that's fashion night out the same night.
Yes.
I'm entering you guys as soon as
do it. Everybody enter.
Take me if you win.
I will.
September 6th.
Awesome.
Yay.
And Fashion's Night Out is a worldwide event. So it's not only in New York, LA, Chicago, Miami. It's actually going on the same night in Paris, London, Milan, all over.
Yep.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So that's it.
All
News and
right.
gossip.
Great. Now let's talk to our amazing guest, Amanda Fields. Thanks for coming tonight, first of all. We love your opinion, and we love hearing what you think of the show. But we want to ask you a couple of questions, too. So do you mind?
I don't mind.
You ready? All
yes.
right. My question from you is, last week we had Joshua, and you're another alumni. So what's the one thing that a viewer like myself or a fan would be really surprised to learn about the show behind the scenes?
I think they would be surprised at how long of a day it is, especially the runway day. The models come in 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, just to start the day. And then they'll send us in to meet the designers maybe 3 or 4 hours later. Wow. But there's just a whole process of production. And another thing that people might be shocked to learn is the vast amount of people it takes to make a show like this. So many producers, production assistants, storyboard editors, story producers. They're very important to every reality show. A story producer pays attention to everything that's going on in the workroom. And we only get an hour and a half every week. So you're seeing an hour and a half edited down from, 3 or 4 days. It's not really a whole week. But imagine if someone were capturing your life all day for several days. Of course, it would not always be the most flattering.
Yes.
So even though we form opinions based on what they show us, I hope for the best. I like to believe that these contestants are always, I give them the benefit of the doubt, because it's such a vast amount of time edited down. But as you said, Tim Gunn said that the editing was nice, so
maybe it is.
Yeah, it's funny. Josh mentioned that too. He's like, you can't always judge them. They're actually really nice designers.
Yeah.
Even if they look bad. So interesting. Good to know.
You also had mentioned while we were watching the show that you were just talking about the time frame and how people would be surprised about that. You also mentioned, this was very insightful, that there's a lot of time during the runway show. Like, that's a long amount of time, and that you would be like in a dress for an hour before you would even step foot on the runway. And tell us about that, how that felt to be standing and not, you said you were sewn in sometimes. And
yes, exactly. Sometimes we would go to the workroom and Tim Gunn would come in and say, okay, designers, that's it. Let's go to the runway. And that would really be their last moment to work on the dress. That's total. Everything that you see is true. It's just that you know, there's a longer process in between. But when we go to the runway, we're waiting for a while. They get so many cameras set up and ready, and the lighting, you know, so it takes a while because to make it look so beautiful.
Yes.
And a little known fact is, I don't know if they do this now, but when I was on the show, we didn't have music. So we would walk down the runway, and you'd hear this camera go, bzzz, you know, following you, and you would just hear your feet. And there's Nina Garcia, Michael Kors, Heidi Klum, and Kate Spade was the first guest judge in my season. Wow. And then there's the designers, and you're just there
in silence.
It's very nerve-wracking, but
so you would be like for the like the candy challenge this year. What is that? The
unconventional materials challenge.
You would be standing backstage for like an hour, like all stiff
in noodles,
and you couldn't
noodles,
and you weren't allowed to sit. Yeah. Sometimes some models would maybe try to lean on something or like take their shoes off while they're waiting and hold them in their hand.
Crazy.
But basically, once you're ready, you're not supposed to really change anything. Like
don't touch it.
Don't brush your hair. You know, don't put on lip gloss. That's a no-no.
Wow.
You have to stay true to what the L'Oreal team did, to what the designer's vision was. Because you may or may not like it, but you have to sell it anyway.
That's Hollywood. Hurry up and wait, right? A lot of setup.
The other thing is we would walk down the runway 2 or 3 times. They would do different takes. So when you see them judging it, the judges get to judge it several times.
Wow, I didn't know that.
No wonder why they know all the details.
A 5-minute runway that takes 2 hours.
And not only that, but when you're getting to the judging, you're standing there. I think they take about 10 minutes or so for each designer. But with the top 3 and the bottom 3, that's an hour.
Wait, the whole, tell us how long, please, the whole entire, from you leaving the workroom to you being done after the winner, how long does that take, about?
Oh, my goodness.
It's like all day.
Well, just from being dressed to them determining the winner, probably about 3 hours.
Wow.
Maybe 4.
Cray.
Depending on how long their little chat is.
Yeah.
Wow. Gosh.
Any other questions for Amanda? Girls?
I have questions, not necessarily about the show. I want to know, because you are in the field that you're in and you get made up all the time, if you have any special makeup tips. Like, what do you find are some of the best products that people use in these runway shows?
Okay, well, makeup for every day and makeup for on camera is extremely different. And so if someone were to do like a sheer coverage foundation and I was going to go on the runway, I don't know if I would feel as comfortable because, you know, there's so many bright lights on you that things can, you know, show that you don't want to show, you know. And so for the runway, you need something like a thicker foundation, and MAC products are great for on stage. I think that's why, you know, Lady Gaga loves it, Madonna loves it, you know, because it's very much a, like, you're ready for anything with that makeup. And I actually have a little trick that I learned along the way. If you feel like you need a little boost of looking like more awake and energetic, put a little bit of shimmer eyeshadow, like sort of in the middle of your eyelid, and it wakes you right up. Like something with gold in it, gold tones. Not too dark, but just a little bit right in the middle, and like blend it in, but it works every time. It kind of lifts your eyelid a little bit.
We're all going to have shimmer right in the center next week.
I know. We're all going to be like, hi, gold eyelids.
And white eyeliner on the bottom makes you... Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I need that.
And also some other products. Any moisturizer with sunscreen, it's very helpful, especially in Southern California.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like that is something that a lot of people know, but I had to add it.
Of course.
No, we should all know. Good to be reiterated.
Yes.
Virginia, any questions for Amanda?
I was just wondering, other than Project Runway designers, who would you like to walk for?
Oh my gosh. Well, luckily I've had the pleasure to walk for some of my favorite designers. I got to walk for Zach Posen. I got to do Mark by Marc Jacobs lookbook. So I didn't walk down the runway, but I got to wear the clothes all day. That was one of my favorite days. So someone I would love to walk for that I haven't had the chance to yet would probably be Michael Kors. Hello.
Nice.
I love his clothes, I have to say. I'm wearing his little ring today.
Rose gold.
Sporting some Michael.
I love rose gold. So cute. But off the top of my head, I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have worn Michael Kors in, say, a Saks Fifth Avenue fashion show along the way. But just to be able to do his show would be great. And, of course, Diane von Furstenberg is the classic
love her
icon. And I could be wrong. This is 6 years ago now, but I think she was a guest judge on my season. I have a feeling.
She definitely was a guest judge.
She was.
I love her.
I love her too.
Love her classic wrap dress.
Yeah.
And Zach Posen was a guest judge on the episode where my designer got eliminated.
Oh.
The black and white challenge, and he made his dress basically all black. There was a little bit of white, but I got to walk for Zach Posen on the America's Next Top Model episode.
That's right. She's like the resident model for all of the fashion modeling shows. So you guys watch out for Amanda. She is all over the place.
That was a guest spot. They had 7 professional models come in with the 7 contestants, and they had us basically be catty and nasty to them. And the challenge was, could the models deal with it? Could they handle it and still walk on the runway?
All right, Amanda, tell us what else you're doing. I know you're blogging, so let the fans know where can they find you? What are you doing?
Well, I just found out today that I booked a fashion show for Porsche. You heard that right.
Ooh.
The car. They actually have a line of clothes I did not know about. This is news to me.
Me too.
And so it's very sexy leather jackets. And maybe I shouldn't reveal the color palette, but it's just, since we haven't had the show yet, but I could say it's very sexy.
So you're going to do that runway show.
This
and what
week.
about, where can we find your blog? Can you tell our listeners what that is?
bloggingprojectrunway.blogspot.com. I write every week Amanda's take on the runway models on the show.
Such an interesting take, too, because the runway models used to be so involved. They're a little bit less now, but I love that you pay attention to that because they really do play into how well I think they wear the designer's clothes. That helps. So it's a nice perspective. Everyone go onto her blog and read all about it.
One thing about your blog, I visited it earlier, and I saw that the contestant from last week that Ven had wrote something, and I saw it posted on your blog. It's a really interesting read if you guys want to go check it out. She kind of just went into more detail about her experience with Ven. So
what's the
blog out.
Address again one more time?
www.bloggingprojectrunway.blogspot.com.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank
Amanda.
you.
It was a pleasure having you. And all right, you guys, I think that wraps up our show.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody.
Are we going to have, or no predictions?
No predictions for now, but I'd love for you guys to keep the convo going with me. Follow me on Twitter @_Alina23.
You can find me at Virginia Reyna or just at virginiareyna.com.
And I am at Lovalles, LO_VALLES.
I am Lauren Leonelli. You can follow me under that name, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And tweet me any predictions, guys. I want to know what you think.
And on Twitter, I'm at The Runway Queen.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.